Okay, I might be live. Wood theme parks and crane tracks. Can you hear me? I cannot get my own video. I guess I can do it for like 2 seconds. I can get this to work like this. I can't get it to work picture in picture, and I'm just not even gonna bother. Guess I can ask there. Okay, and then we can just go this thing. Yeah, it's probably because there's like a 20-second delay. Where's the fun in that? I'm already regretting my choice of using YouTube, but here we are. Okay. Hashtag regrets. Oh, cool. That's a little faster than I thought it was. So I was gonna try and do this on my desktop, but actually building it on my desktop I couldn't get working. It was like, oh, install SDL2, and I was like, cool, easy. And then I installed something else, then I installed something else, and then all of a sudden it's like, install this thing. I was like, cool, and then I did, and then like classic, like, oh, that version conflicts with this other version, and then apt just like shits the bed. And I was like, okay, fine. So we are now doing this on my laptop, and that makes this a little more annoying, but that's it. On Mac, it was shockingly easy, which kind of blew my mind. So maybe let me just get myself familiar here. Let's get into guest profile. Like very, I haven't streamed in so long. Perfect, it's already open in the right place. Hashtag. I mean, I feel like it could have and should have been just as easy for something else. Oh yeah, 2 concurrent viewers. Is one of them me? Okay, so I'm not really, this live stream is not about a tutorial. This is just funsies. But I need to remember what I even did. But so this was the installation. That's fine. Where was there? So it's probably more on their GitHub. That would make sense. Introduction to building the game. Great. So this is what I started in there. Like, yeah, here's all your prerequisites or whatever. And I think it was, pretty sure it's this guy that started to give me problems. And I just like could not succeed. This one, as long as you had basically brew, which most of us do, that rhymes, life was pretty good. And then the actual like compile and running, you just like run these 2 commands, and that's it. Zoom in a bit, eh? How about them apples? One more, is that too much? That seems fine. It's like so weird and unfamiliar remembering that people are watching you. Not too much better. Okay. So let's just, this is the code, and I just like git clone that repo, and we take this first command, slap that in there. Thankfully mine runs faster because I've run it already, so most of the stuff is cached. And then you run that guy, and life is good. The first time I ran this first one, it did all the magic of installing things, and that's why this whole process was so much smoother. And then what we can do is, there's a build folder, and you just get like a regular application in that, slap that open, and I better have that. Oh my god. OBS. No, let's give you some of that audio and turn it down quite a bit. Okay, maybe there's some like hopefully not too painfully loud background. Even quieter. Okay, so that's, whoa, even this preview does what I want. Oh, totally the soundtrack makes this game. What's really interesting seeing a few of these things is I already have made my code change to put everyone in these black outfits, but obviously like this little like preview is like the game actually rendering it, and my computer is like really struggling to do this stream and play this game, but that's okay. I also believe it's because this is a debug version of the game, so it's probably running even less efficiently. But like, let's just hop into a thing, and then I can zoom in a little bit more to showcase this ridiculous change that I made. Basically, I made it so that everyone has the same color shirt. And I'm going to go prove that that's what I actually did and how that worked, and how I figured that out. I had no idea what thing I wanted to do, so instead I kind of just like was just poking around code, and I was like, what is the thing I could change that I could visually actually see? And so I found myself in this, I can't remember if I searched this. Let's see, let's just like broad. It's actually really fun trying to understand a project you have no idea about. And I have poked through like 3 files, but I'm still a complete idiot in terms of this code base. And so I kind of just like cranked this open. I was like, cool, like what kind of entities we got. We've got a guest. I thought that was interesting. So like most of the game is about the guests. You can see like duck, balloon, fountain. I still don't really conceptualize like this OpenRCT versus UI. I mean, presumably Android is just on Android, but like here, does Windows refer to Windows the operating system, or like Windows that can show up? Now that I say that out loud, I assume this Windows refers to like the guest window. So if I click this guy, this I believe is the guest window. And so even can it has more zoom. Yes, yes, yes. I forget these things. So sorry. Maybe even one more. That seems a bit obnoxious. Let's try that. It doesn't help that the Mac has not a regular aspect ratio, and so I have to have these stupid black bars on the side. It's like one of the main reasons that I avoid streaming on this stupid thing. Anyways, so let's remember and find. Yeah, the change I made is still here. So this is in that guest Windows one. I must have made it to the other one, entity peep. That like are they referred to as peep? I guess so. But let's change this back to what I had if I can find and do that. So I feel like that's this guy at 566. Got it. Okay, so here's what I changed, and probably even easier if we just back to what it was. If we go to this t-shirt color somewhere, no, there's an enum. That's what I'm looking for. So this enum defines all of the color possibilities. So when I put in 0, I get black because that's the one that is black. And I'm not 100% certain on kind of like how those are picked up. The whole assets situation seems to be like pretty interesting. My guess is that these offsets kind of just like defer to a different image that should be displayed. So that's kind of interesting. But I mean, let's just do a simple compile example even. But now that I've done this, The thing that I haven't figured out is I'm pretty sure I end up having to run both of these commands regardless of what change I've made. Feels like that shouldn't need to be the case always, but maybe it is. I don't know. But to be safe, I run them both. We'll close this. And like honestly not too bad for how long that takes for a single change. Open this up. But this whole situation was just giving me EA FIFA flashbacks. Just like I made a change and now okay, I gotta get into the game, gotta pick this thing. Then you get in and you're like, yep, this is the life. You're like, that should have worked, and it didn't. But I remember why. No, I don't remember why. Okay, that change definitely should have. This is the life, of course. So what it could have been is because I was building it while I still had it open, so it couldn't write it correctly. Let's just try one more build, because I definitely changed this file. I did it right. And I left this peep. So one of them should still be black, but the window one should not be. Okay. Audience laughs. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't check the window. We'll pick a different one. Oh no, there's nobody here. Regrets. Don't change. There's one guy in his black shirt leaving the park. I need a different one. Okay, also when you're not in full screen, the clicking thing is just a little bit off, and that is incredibly annoying. What on earth? Okay, let's change that other file then. And then we rebuild. This just proves how much I have no idea how this works. Better work. This would be embarrassing. Okay, we're back to real colored shirts. Look at that. Okay, so that probably explains when I was trying to make this change in the first place, I was making it and I was like, surely this should work, and then it didn't. But now I see that it was only that one, the peep. It's actually the peep who controls it. And OpenRCT2 t-shirt color. Okay, great. New peep t-shirt color, staff hire new action, staff set color. Ooh, that's fun and interesting. This is presumably like the saving of information. We have a similar system on FIFA where you just like every field you just like toss into your stream, and then as long as it's all in the same order, there's probably like a deserialize. Is there another? I would have guessed there was a deserialize, but I don't see it. So am I just hopefully gonna look for it? Maybe. Quit right there if I was hired for the project. Okay, no, I don't know. I would assume there's a deserialize, but alas, I have no idea. what else do we want to see or look at or whatever? Oh, the other one that was fun, interesting was so the first thing that I actually tried to do was just change some text. And there were kind of like a few, there's so many of them that are kind of like dynamic. What was a good one that I ended up using? I think in theory we could probably use one of these even. So like quit to menu. We just search that. Thankfully this game is small enough that that's not a big deal. And so here, this key presumably is replaced by this, so I can change that and that'll change it. But what I'm curious is, where does that key? What? The key is not even used anywhere. How on earth does that work? Okay, but let's say we edited that. Let's figure out if this actually works. Okay, I'm not certain if me having that open is going to cause problems, but let's find out. Out of here. Did it do it? Look at that. Quit edited. But now what really scratches my brain is who and where in the code. Maybe it's not fully. Where's to find that? Oh my Lord. Okay, I don't want these guys. I want cheats almost. Context. Like my guess is they're like, oh, from this string to this string. Does that even make sense? Quit edited. Exit OpenRCT2. So yeah, okay, the two of those checks out. What about where does options fall? 5219. What about report a bug? How on earth are these strings attached to that menu? That's the kind of stuff that I want to see and understand. Is it's like, cool, I get that I can change this thing and I will see that change, but if I can't even find, or maybe this will tell me. Oh, okay, closer, closer. They probably just have a different name for it. So 6, 4. I guess we'll use that one. String IDs. It's not there. Okay. Hold on. I believe we'll find it. 6, 4, 5, 7. Duct tape. That sounds great. Here we go. UI string IDs. Did we find it? Yeah, we did. Top toolbar? Check. Can I remove about? Here we go. Slap that out of the picture. Can we remove them from the menu? Okay, I believe we can do it. If I had believed that I did that right, those two should be gone, and they are not. So, oh, well, probably because there's 3 different versions of it. Okay, so the one I changed was track designer or track manager. I'm an idiot. It's obviously going to be not even that one. It's probably going to be this else. And then the string empty is how they get their little lines. Okay. That's fine. I got this. It's cool. It'd also be interesting to see if there's some kind of like library loading situation, so I don't have to like fully close the game. I feel like somewhere in here might explain this, but then again, it doesn't really seem like it. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's how you build it. Good luck. And did we do it? We done it. So I've now found top toolbar, which then surely you can start to see and pull a few more pieces together. And we've got like thousands of lines, which is great. Let's just, you probably can't even see that, but I just want a very high level picture of what on earth is going on in here. Pause, file, new game, all that jazz. Make map widget, UID, on, drop, down. Okay. Did screenshot countdown 10. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Screenshot giant, file bug on GitHub. We slap in a URL. Append, get context, open URL. Does this guy work? Platform UI context, open URL. Man, it's just so many interesting things. Platform UI context. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be, like SDL related. And somewhere there's this mystical open URL. Function is a stub. Well, don't open up the frickin' Android one then, you idiot. Here, if Android, so who? There we go. Whoa, that's fun. Okay, so this then would only get compiled on Mac. Great. And then in here, there's got to be a open URL. We found it. And then CF URL create with bytes, slap in that C string. Guess what? You load up a thing. That's pretty neat. I've removed that thing so I can't even try it, but that's pretty interesting. I'm curious, like, I guess maybe this guy. So who? You call that function, but you, oh, interesting. Okay, so the builder, oh, it's so small. Oh, I think that zooms maybe good. No, that's probably better. Okay. This function, like the build tool decides, okay, it's UI context Linux or Win32 or Mac OS, and then that's how and why this function actually gets defined. So for me right now, that's the one that gets created to create the Mac OS context, but they all have the same signature. Ugh. It's all making sense. The thing that I really like about this is that like there's kind of enough information here to make your own reasonably cross-platform like SDL application or game or whatever you want to call it, which I don't know why, but that just like feels like the way that I want to make things. Um, so it's nice to have a little reference like that. What else do we want to look at? So we got some like menus, some staff. I mean, they have like so many cheats that like you basically don't even need to update code to do most things. Let's see, like whatever staff speed, super random, weather types. Make widgets. Let's see, Windows, cheats, guest widgets. Demolish ride prompt. I feel like it's interesting to just absorb, but in order to like actually find or do anything, you need like a very specific idea of what you're trying to do. And outside of changing all my people's shirts colors, that was the extent of my guesses. This is kind of fun though. This is like presumably where, I guess that's a thing to look for, is kind of just like, where does this all begin? And I would guess that this function is basically it. How is profit calculated? Ooh, that's fun, isn't it now? Okay. How do I want to attempt? Kind of feel like running cost, or actually total profit's probably pretty close. It's funny how that's usually the most effective way to reverse navigate code. It's just like, where does this show in the game? Here we go. Add ride total profit, but we would need to know, how do you actually get set ride.h? Oh, that's guessed though. That's ride total profit. This is the game that managed state by me. Yeah, it's also interesting. I've watched an embarrassing number of Roller Coaster Tycoon videos lately. And first of all, there's this guy, I think his name is Marcel, and he does some ridiculous in-depth things. Um, but also just even like, I think I watched one on just like OpenRCT in general. And it's pretty fascinating to have taken like an assembly written code and then I just gets like recreated in C++. Um, and it's not even like 100% recreation. Like some to a lot of the values are different, and then as well, like you can play Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2 in the same OpenRCT. So it's not even like a one-to-one exact thing. Okay, so what is this function? Decide and buy item. So we're in the guest. Okay. Well, I want to know like when does this person try this though? So life cycles and life cycle on ride photo. Update ride in exit. Oh, this decide and buy item, I think, that's why I was just watching the video on this, is about deciding whether they should buy a freaking photo. And here we are. And okay, hold on. This is a great example of a thing to look at. So one of the comments, let me see if I can find this guy really quickly here. RCT, most profitable, something like that. I think that's the one. Okay, so this whole video he goes through. No, I don't really want an advertisement. Thank you very much. And just like does this ridiculous deep dive into the most profitable one. And in one of them, he was showing how like the roller coasters tend to be the ones that you can get quite high, but you can add a photo to be taken, and then you can charge certain prices for the photos. But in doing so, he found that people don't buy a photo the first time that they ride a ride. Where did I find that? Somebody commented about it. Like even here, so this guy, I'm doing this kind of nothing surprises me anymore, but you usually manage to blow my mind at least once per video. And this one, it was guests don't buy a photo the first time they ride a ride. And then somebody else, I swear there was one last comment. That I wanted to fact check somebody on. Here it is. This guy here says, there's no way that guests won't buy a photo the first time they ride a ride. I'm guessing that you're dropping guests, blah, 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 on the map glitch. And then he's like, no, that's still sold. Hold on, there's one more comment. Been through this rabbit hole before. This guy, maybe. He tested with a path 2. They didn't buy a photo. And this guy says it's because they won't buy a souvenir unless they've gone on at least 3 rides total. And so I really thought there was somebody else who said they looked at the code to figure that out. But that's basically what I want to confirm in code is the actual behavior now that we have entered the matrix. So here we're checking, cool. Presumably this means that the ride has a photo. That's what he thinks. So here we come in here. No secondary items sold plus plus. That's interesting that we... What? If decide and buy items true, we increase no secondary items sold. That seems interesting, but okay. Maybe this returns... I don't even know. Let's just go into it. Returns 0 or 1 depending on if the peep decides to buy the item. Okay, but is 0 bought or is 1 bought? The money will be deducted. So we pass in the ride, we pass in the shop item and the price. I'm curious how even this is interesting. Like these are, I assume, the assembly instructions. It's fascinating. Okay. Is precipitating, is umbrella. Oh, so this is just a generic function, so it should be called in other places in addition to this one. But let's just pretend we are buying a photo. Somewhere in here should be photo. Probably could search for it, but this is kind of fun. Consumption time, blah, blah, blah. Flag tracking is food is, I guess, is souvenir is probably it. Oh, it's also interesting, like flags to invalidate the window. Yeah, so many interesting things. Paid on drink expenditure. Like in my mind, this has to be where that decision is made. We're saying update ride in exit, which is presumably when they've finished the ride. Peep ride substate in exit, yeah. And this logically to me is them being like, okay, here's photo item even. Shop item index photo item. Secondary item. Ride price 1. Also interesting that we just store presumably the price of the ride in index 1 and then the photo in index 2, max shop items per ride entry, which is bingo 2. Interesting way of storing that for sure. Now, how can we... We're looking for exactly what you said. They have not ridden enough times. Nausea, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it happens in some like weird implicit way. Is food or drink? That doesn't seem like it. If they have an item, none of those should be true. Balloon, ice cream, candy floss, sunglasses, no. But that's kind of cool. If it's raining, they won't buy any of those items. It's interesting. Out of curiosity, where's this is umbrella? This is special is raining and is umbrella. Oh, interesting. Here we got something. Guess num rides less than 3. But I feel like that's the only one here. So not is raining and shop item not evil math. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. I think this is it. Holy shit. We may have found ourselves. So let me read this 100%. It's not raining and it's not an umbrella. It's not a map. It is a souvenir, should be true. And they don't have a voucher. Yep, bingo, that's it. So if they have not ridden more than 3 rides, that will always return false. If this is true, cool, yeah, there's no way that this would override that. And so then here now, if some random number is greater than their happiness, then we will also just not buy it. So I guess this is how you determine whether they buy. Interesting. Surely the price influences item value less than price minus equals price. Okay, so I think this is what I was looking for. If price item value greater than or equal to update satisfaction has now decided to buy the item. Holy smokes. So much random logic. Insert new thought. That's also incredible. It's just like storing the thoughts as the things are happening. Price greater than cash in pocket. Can't afford item. And then presumably use those to determine kind of like other feelings and things. Which, are we even running this game? Yeah, we are. So like these thoughts are these guys. I got here. What does insert? Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at. So like I was gonna kind of look at these, but let's just take a look at that function first. Guest, peep, or guest. So it all goes under peep. Peep must be there. I feel like peep's the generic. Like guest is a guest, but then I bet you like staff and other guys are like subclasses of peep. No, it doesn't make sense because you've got this guy. Could you give me the definition, please? Thank you. Insert new thought, insert new thought. And we finally find it. Okay, Pete thought to action map, new action. Thought type action. Interesting. Okay, so there's potentially a certain thought that would trigger an action. Action flag, ride, shake head, walking, action type. Action shake head, walking. How do I get back to where I'm trying to go? Enum value thought type. Oh, interesting. We need the thought type enum, which is this guy. Here we go. Oh, beautiful. Here we go. So these are lovely different versions with the different texts, but we had in a guy says this park is really clean and tidy. Very clean. So somebody injects that. Guest crowded thoughts. There we go. Num rubbish less than 2. Disable littering. Interesting. Then like, how often do we, here we go, peep, assess surroundings. How often do we do this? This is tick 128 update guest. Perfect. That's exactly what I figured we would roughly be. Peep update all. So we go through each peep. Okay, ticks 128 mask. Tick 128. What do we think 128 stands for? State. So this presumably is our big old, yep, update logic. And you are called update the game 1 or more times. That seems, oh, game state tick. Will be called every K game update milliseconds. Has only, which might run multiple updates per call, such as when operating as a client that may run multiple updates to catch up with the server tick. Oh man. Or the game speed setting. So I guess num updates might be changed if game speed, look at that. So you crank up the game speed and it just changes the number of updates it processes each tick. Interesting, okay. I think we already got sidetracked from where we began, which was what happens when you have a thought somewhere. Inserting thought, okay. And is action interruptible? Is action idle? Is action okay, so if they're just walking or idle and a new action comes in based off of their thought, they just accept it. They just blindly go and accept it. So like what kind of thoughts? Oh, that's so annoying though. This enum, the positions of these relate to, oh my lord. Yeah, like this. Is it even in the same file? Doesn't seem like it. How do I thought type, thought type. This magic number corresponds to this guy. So did I get this right? Fuck no. I swear that was peep. Peep thought type. Oh, guess.hk. And then here. Okay, so can't afford ride, shake head animation, and then flags. I don't know what these flags are about, but I guess that explains. So a person has this thought, it triggers the animation to shake head. They've spent money, empty pockets. Wow, I guess is probably, this looks too intense for me. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Another shake head. Are any of these fun being watched? How am I supposed to like, how do you map these together? Who came up with this? Most of them are just walking in joy. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's kind of fun if you ask me. That's still not what I wanted. Somewhere I wanted to continue down our insert new thought. So for max thoughts, remove the oldest thought by setting it to none. The thought type has not changed, then we need to do is move it to the top of the thought, blah, blah, blah. Move, whatever. Thought type, thought item, thought arguments, freshness, fresh timeout, and then just invalidate the thing. Huh. I guess the other interesting one would be like, how does a guest decide what to do? And I imagine it's going to be somewhere in this update tick, basically. So let's, we can maybe look high level here. Okay, should go on ride. Starts to get us in the right territory. Not again, but let's find best ride to go on. Can we make everyone to decide to go on ride? Ooh. Okay, so I guess there's first find ride to go on. If we only have one ride, we can probably do that. Okay, I like this. I like that suggestion. Just everyone straight to ride. Find best ride to go on. So that's gonna be part of the puzzle. Pick the most exciting ride. Rides to consider. And ride has ratings. Oh, so the interesting thing is, if I was again seeing this in the video, if somebody, let's see if this reads correctly. If a ride doesn't have a rating, people will always go on it at least once. And that might be partially because of this route here. Though this kind of seems to indicate otherwise, but let's just see here. So should go on ride. I mean, could we not just say if true? Keep it full. Let's see what happens. And then we'll just need to, oh, is that, I didn't change anything. Or does it's true not exist because we're in stupid language. String about, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that doesn't help at all. Okay. Everyone go on a ride. So should go on ride is true. I'm sure there's some other factor that decides that, but let's find out. Just slap down. I mean, like that one's far away, but if we put one right at the entrance of whatever that entrance. Oh my gosh, that's tight. Open you. Let people get in. And let people get off. I guess to prove that this works, we'd have to put the price all the way up, because people might just go on this anyways. Like if I made this free. Okay, we need to destroy the other one. Hold on, we need to simplify this park significantly. Y'all are no longer allowed past here. Bye. Okay, that guy decided. But I feel like something needs to trigger them to think about. Let's actually see this here. So eventually, how do I know when somebody has decided to go on the ride? That guy did, dang it. Queuing for merry-go-round. So at some point, they make that decision, and we need to convert from walking to that. So what triggers that? For on like somewhere in here, I feel like we should find. Oh, that almost was maybe what I wanted. Oh, interesting. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What function is this first? Tick update. Great. If they're walking and they're not outside of the park, and they're not leaving the park, and they haven't been on a ride, and they're not already heading to a ride. Okay, cool. They wait at least 5 seconds. Just guessing is guide. It's target. Keep up to 100 people park. Divided by 2048. So that's just like an amount of time that they presumably wait. Park entry time. So if we crank this off, maybe just trying to do that. Great. Okay, I mean they. All right, okay, we might be onto something here. They decide pretty much right away. I need a big queue line if this works. Okay, let's again narrow ourselves down to just here. Slap a nice boring ride. Merry-go-round. We'll even put it way over here. Okay, and then so we're open, and the question becomes, does everyone try to go to it? And the first thought is no. Heading for merry-go-round. Heading for merry-go-round. 3, 4, 5. We're pretty close. There's like some 5-second delay from them entering the park. But it seems like otherwise we might have this. So then the other question is can we crank this price up? Have them still consider going to it. I'm not paying that much. Oh no. Yeah, you are. Ignore price. I guess that's kind of it. Peep at ride. Insert new thought. Happiness target. Is that the right copyright? It's too greater than price. We're gonna have this guy right here. It's greater than value times 2. Okay. And so then can we just. Yeah, I guess technically that tells me that's the answer. So I could probably just do yoink, and I'm not sure where. Check price at entrance. I don't know why there's 2, but Let's get rid of both of those. We still have that like 5 seconds after entering the park where they walk. So it'll be interesting to figure out if we can get them as soon as they enter the park to just be like, let me get on a ride as soon as possible. Let's make this there. And right front. Why I created that so strangely, I don't know. Oh, get out of here. That is the park that exists in your world. Deal with it. And then slap one of these down. Come on. We built a cross path. How is that not a cross path? Fine. I guess we open that. Oh, maybe the other thought is that this guy exists. So let's just can that guy altogether. There's nothing else y'all can do. Heading to merry-go-round. This guy's walking. One. Oh, right away. Look at that guy. But what we want to see is, can we put this all the way up now? Could I just type this in? Probably. Or am I going to hold this for? No, no. It's ridiculous. That should be max price. Oh, thank you. What am I doing? What am I doing? I forgot you can change that. Total number of rotations. 1? What's the different mode? That's the only mode. Wait for full load. I guess so. This is a terrible ride because it has very low throughput or whatever. I want to go home. Is it because they only cash in pocket? Cash spent 0. I'm sure there's some other variable at play here that's causing them to choose to go home. So we haven't caught everything. What did he think there? I want to go on something more thrilling. Ugh, see, there's too many decisions. See, there's more cheats. Ignore ride intensity. How far? Reduce the decision logic. That's what I would like to do, but you cut too much out, and then so here's another one. Choose not to go on ride. Is peep at ride. Not while raining. There's like all of this stuff. Ride has ratings. So what's this function? Like, surely this is just like, yeah, should go on ride. I thought we decided that the answer was yes, always. Apparently there's multiple other places this comes into. Interact with shop. They shouldn't even have a chance to do that. As far as I understand, yes, it was reverse engineered from looking at the original game. I don't know if they ended up having access to the original assembly or if you could disassemble it or what. Based on some of the stuff, well, I mean, actually, if it was written in assembly, like you literally could just look at it, I guess. So the question would be is if there's like comments left to even help you. But here's a random thing that I did. It's essentially like if you go back. No, that's way more than 27. That's 1,000. Is that 100? Yeah. Okay, initial commit. So 2014, the initial commit, if I remember correctly, I guess there is still some C, but I thought what I saw was maybe I'm misremembering. What did I see? Working game in SDL2 window with various bugs and incomplete input logic. So supposedly this works, but that makes there's like not enough code here to possibly do that. So I imagine built by decompiling the original game one bit at a time. Okay, here, this is what I was looking for. So they have like inlined assembly. Oh yeah, even this works. So like the game update, they've got like their own version of assembly, which is presumably like copied from the original. Oh, I wonder though. Where is this defined? Push. Like for some reason I get the feeling this is almost like loading up the other assembly, but like slapping it inside an SDL window. I think that's what's happening. And so this is actually, if I'm following this correctly, I think this is kind of like an emulator for the assembly. And then just like a small SDL layer on top of that to run it. Let's create window OpenRCT2. It gives you like the windowing and all that jazz, but at the end of the day, save. Whoa. Okay, cool. That's cool. Totally not what I was trying to do. And I'm actually probably going to end this fairly shortly. Partly because my brain hurts, but also because I need to do other things. But let us do one last go here. Let's just take the should go on ride function and just like right at the top be like, yes, please. And I assume that's the same function. So then there should be nothing getting in the way. I don't know when it chooses to think about that. Should go on ride. The answer is going to be true. Entrance type ride entrance. Peep is not queuing time lost station, blah, blah, blah. There's probably some delay there still, but let's quickly see. And same little situation here. That. Stop. I. And. Let's throw some marketing. Maybe get some more people in this here park. I'll even give a freaking voucher for it. Actually, that will affect our things. This guy went. Okay. No, you're going in. Good. This guy is walking in. He enters the park. And he, yes, goes straight to the merry-go-round. Now we're talking. $20? Oh, yeah, no problem. I'll go in for $20. Easy peasy. Okay, now we need to make our line bigger because now everyone's going to be mad that they can't get in line. How am I going to do this? There we go. And we can just keep swinging that around, can we? Oh no. How did I manage that? And then we make you... Really should have just picked a different ride altogether, but whatever. Maximum time, whatever. And let's up the speed. Oops, why do all these people go here? That slows this whole thing down. Oh, they can't get back, that's why. That's a problem. Whatever. Successfully, they go in no matter what. That was the entire objective. Now they're all going to get stuck there for forever. Maybe, just maybe I can fix this path here. Maybe not. No, these guys are just stuck for good. Can I get them? There we go. Oh my. What did I do? Okay, interesting. Did they all leave the park? Or are they like weirdly in the queue somehow? I think I broke the queue. I think we're entering that territory. Like these people are in line. These guys are stuck. What if I give you a queue? Does this work? Okay. Oh, they just straight up exit the park. That's no good. We don't want that. That's what's happening. Oh, there we go. Now they're just, the queue line doesn't even matter. Perfect. Excellent. Well, we can shorten this then. No big deal. Okay. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, good. Once they're out of money, they should leave anyways. This freaking merry-go-round takes forever. Apparently, okay, this was the last random one. So the maze, you can build a custom design, and you can make a single tile. And how do we do this? Just like that. Is that it? Sure. Slap an entrance on that. Slap an exit on that. And then we open it and we... Okay, whoa, guys, get back in line. And then here now, they shouldn't care, so we can just say $20. And then, what we should be able to do is say goodbye to this guy. Oh, yeah. Hold on, we need to get the animations for the money going. And we need to clear this path up. Oh no, I cut too many. go. Okay. Let's see here. How do I show? I don't know if I can get options unless I'm in the other one. Hmm. No, I think that's in the main menu. I have to update that. I don't hear any cha-chings, so you're just walking. Are you out of money? I've spent all my money. Yeah, they have no more money. They need to go home. Well, there you go. What did this guy? Popularity, favorite ride of 18 guests. Profit, 42.70 per hour. But basically, okay. I mean, I think that's enough for me right now. Thank you for joining, and I hope you learned something. Why are these people running and some of them are walking? What's going on? What is this guy's deal? Why is he Superman? What's going on here? He's trying to leave the park. They get extra speed when they're trying. Oh man. Okay, yeah, I learned some things. That was cool. That was fun. Thank you for the suggestion, and see you next time. See if I can figure out how to end the stream.